So, basically, just gonna go to the window. Is kind of want to get into, generally, I want to make that black. Generally, um, very kind of the basis on like how computers even think and function. Um, so the smallest piece of information that a computer can store is called a bit. It's the smallest piece of information that a computer can store. And I'm just going to define them and then explain them. A byte is 8 bits. So, basically, so a bit is the smallest piece of information that a computer can store, and you probably know how kind of computers generally function is, you probably heard a lot about binary code. Um, binary code. Basically, what binary code is that's ones and zeros, and a combination to convey information. But essentially, it's kind of this whole thing about computers, function in ones and zeros. So, basically, why is it ones and zeros? One kind of represents on, and zero represents off. So basically, that's kind of why they use it, why they use ones and zeros, because we're kind of, computers are electrical, they're electrical things, you know? So basically the way, people they figured out the computer language should be is whenever maybe one part of the computer, very tiny part of a computer, could be on, and then one tiny part of the computer can be off at a period of time, and then have a combination of those ones and zeros, that can mean something. And it can be kind of like a language that computers can basically take all the concepts that we know, right? And then it can basically use that language of combination of those ones and zeros so the computer can understand it. Because the computer will understand ones and zeros and any combination of ones and zeros. So basically any information you're going to tell a computer, it eventually gets turned into ones and zeros, and information being presented, output from a computer is going to be turned into ones and zeros. Like a picture, text, anything. It's going to be composed of a bunch of ones and zeros that you're not seeing. So that's a very important part of it. That's kind of why it uses that language. So it's kind of like all it knows is ones and zeros, and that's kind of why, because they're electrical. They're electrical. And so I said a bit, right? Is a bit is the smallest piece of information that a computer can store. So basically, what a bit is basically just a 0 or a 1. A 0 or a 1. That's it. So it's going to be a 0 or a 1. And a byte is going to be I said it was gonna be it says it's gonna be it's basically 8 bits is a byte. So going further into that, kind of explaining, you know, basically we're gonna, go into further binary code and understanding it and how it will tie into programming in the future when we program.